Gentlemen, welcome to Fight Club. The first rule of Fight Club is, you do not talk about Fight Club. The second rule of Fight Club is, you do not talk about Fight Club.
Peace. So I see y'all had a busy night in my comments, huh? Walk with me. To those of you who took exception to me not gatekeeping, and those of you who were grateful for me not gatekeeping, and those of you who didn't take exception but you did take sides against me, for those who are for gatekeeping and me being against gatekeeping, well, all of y'all are wrong. You're all wrong. I actually am a gatekeeper. I am quite literally a gatekeeper. And what's interesting is y'all don't seem to understand that the instructions that I was giving was not actually to not gatekeep, but I'm giving you instructions on how to gatekeep. It kind of reminds me of the binary thought that people project onto the verse, judge not, lest thou be judged. Okay, well, the end of that scripture and the point of that scripture includes that by the same measure that you judge other people, that's how you'll be judged. Jesus then goes on to give instructions on how to judge righteously. You see what I'm saying? So the verse that people use in order to say judge not actually means the exact opposite thing. But binary thinking won't let people see the nuance in that. And, but I digress. That brings you back to me talking about gatekeeping. How many videos do I have to put out that gives instructions on how to gatekeep? All this time, y'all accusing me of being against gatekeeping, I got videos on how to gatekeep pinned on my profile, telling you, showing you that I am in fact a gatekeeper, but telling you how to gatekeep in a way that is not oppressive against ourselves. When, and I won't even call it by name, when there was a secret cant that was created by our ancestors, and it was popping all over social media, the opportunity was there for me to make a bag teaching that language. I said no. International media asked me to speak on it. I said no. I wouldn't even say its name. And all of y'all was giving out links to Facebook groups and everybody and their mama who would take that class. Y'all took on all comers. And that's not like African-American English or just a general Creole that was meant to be used in public, like a regular language. That was a secret language, a secret encoded language. Y'all gave out the code like candy at a parade. And I said, no. Years before the AI trend and all of the Gen AI stuff got really popping, I was approached by some tech companies that should not be named, but y'all know the familiar names, in order to help them train AI on perfecting African-American English, including some of the Creoles, including Gullah. I said no. They would have paid handsomely, but I said no. This is documented, by the way. Okay? Time and time again, there have been opportunities for me to literally sell us out. And I said no. Yet, y'all think I'm against gatekeeping. That, my friend, is gatekeeping. I am literally sitting on boards, committees at institutions whose purpose it is to secure cultural information, artifacts, these things that will be the information that, I guess when you go to archives and researchers come to find out who we are, who we were, that information I'm privy to. I'm a part of the gatekeepers whose job it is to help distribute and protect that information for generations to come. I actually do that for my job. That's literally what I do. I am privy to information that if I were to distribute it publicly, I could be sued because that information is protected by NDAs. And when I say sued, I mean that quite literally. I am, in the most literal sense, a gatekeeper. It's what I do. The vast majority of information that I know and have and possess for and about the culture never makes it to social media. So when I'm trying to tell y'all how to use discernment and teach you how to go about doing it. Y'all with this all or nothing binary thinking, you don't know what gatekeeping is. Now, I understand it feels some type of way to be told you're ignorant, okay? When you're from a demographic of people who have been stereotyped as unintelligent despite the facts saying otherwise. When academia has been weaponized against us, I get it. You don't want to hear a black academic telling you you don't know what you're talking about. I understand, I empathize. But here's the thing. You don't know what you're talking about. And you won't listen to someone who does know what they're talking about so that you can be more informed when you talk. You're hard-headed and you want me to accommodate your stubbornness, and I won't. So I will continue to gatekeep correctly, and I will continue to oppose ignorant ideas, oppressive ideas of how to go about doing it. If y'all are on the tip where we got to practically be in the witness protection program in order to preserve ourselves from the white gaze, see if we can shrink ourselves small enough to avoid white folk doing what they will do. By the way, speaking of binary thinking, when I said that white people are just gonna lie like they always do, how did y'all come to the conclusion that I was saying we should continue to teach them correctly, otherwise they will lie? You didn't hear the first part when I was responding to people who were saying that if we continue to be ourselves out loud and proud in public, white folk will distort our image by co-opting it and doing with it what they will. That's when I said, well, they do that anyway. So why should we care what they think and what they will do when they don't need us to do it? And history has shown us that. We might as well do us regardless. Y'all respond, why should we care what they think? We should do what we're gonna do. That's what I said. Yeah, that's what I said. So many of y'all responded to oppose what I was saying by making the very points that I was making. Are y'all okay? That's a rhetorical question. Again, I digress. I am a gatekeeper. I gatekeep. That's what I do. But you know what I am more than anything? A flamekeeper. A keeper of the flame. And that is the difference between a gatekeeper and a keeper of the flame. Yes, a gatekeeper and a flamekeeper do have in common somewhat keeping information, cultural artifacts, and ways of preserving who we are under wraps. That is what we do. We have that in common. But as a keeper of the flame, it is also our job to hold on to the light, to help show the way, to keep us warm in the cold, to light our pathway in the dark. We are using that flame for the community. And if necessary, if we got to burn things down there, we will do it. If we got to burn them, we can burn them with the flame. That's the point of being a keeper of said flame, as opposed to just a gatekeeper. Shout out to gatekeepers, though. So like I said, be you a keeper of the flame, keeper of the gate, gatekeeper, flamekeeper, however you see yourself. The truth of the matter is, I am what I am, and I am that I am. I am a gatekeeper. I am a flamekeeper. What are you? That's the question. Who are we? We out here.